Hello, everybody, and welcome here from Club Speedway for the Prestige Cup Series. Once again, here at Club Speedway, Week 2 of the Prestige Cup Series here for Wilkes, the Wilkes family 200, presented by Wilkes Motorsports. Week 2 here, we saw a photo finish last week at Daytona as the number 85 of Brandon Kiger edges out the number 24 machine for the win there. Really exciting finish we saw last week. Hello, my name is Christian Delgado, your lead producer and commentator tonight. Solo in the booth for tonight. No JJ Moore, no Peter Terrio tonight for week 2. Those two other conflicts. Peter Terrio actually racing at New Hampshire Motor Speedway in his legend. So good luck to Peter over there at New Hampshire, racing the road course there at New Hampshire up there, and the best of luck to him. But it'll be just me tonight in the booth. Just over 7 minutes left in practice. Let's go ahead and take a look at your fastest drivers on track here in practice. See this number 01 of Jaron Valley. Currently your fastest on track in this 1-800 gambling machine. What's going on, Zach?
Because it was up to 70% in practice. We saw a lot of drivers laps really fall off because of all the rubber on the track. And yeah, just wanted to come in here and just give that information, pass that along, since we do not have JJ Moore this race.
Well, we definitely appreciate the info. Yeah, no JJ today, so we'll have Zach come in here, give us some info right before we get done with practice. But we definitely appreciate the info.
Oh, absolutely. Well, here's JJ Moore right now, apparently. I didn't know he was joining.
They're all joining here.
I'm out of town, so I won't be racing, but I am here a little bit.
Oh, better than nothing. So we do have JJ Moore here in the broadcast with just over 6 minutes left in practice. Go through some of your top three who are on track. Merrick Watchorn in this number 91, looking pretty quick here with a 40.508. Good lap time for that number 91 machine. Benjamin Bushnell, same in this 25, going for a tumble here. But P4 in practice, and then Max Ford, we saw him pretty quick at Daytona. This number 11 machine looking pretty quick here at Auto Club as well. We'll take a look here. We'll go through Richard Blimkin. We'll take a look at Auto Club as a whole here. Obviously, Auto Club, one of the most unique racetracks that the Cup Series goes to here in this season. And honestly, just well known for, it's good racing, but also well known for, as we showed in the description down below, also well known for being shut down and not being on the NASCAR schedule anymore, as it was bought out from NASCAR. And fortunately, looks like there's going to be some Amazon warehouses built on the facility. A lot of the racetrack already tore up. There was supposed to be a, impromptu kind of short track built here on the front stretch where you see that blue and red start finish line, but unfortunately this did not happen. It's a shame. So to see that happen, Auto Club puts on some of the best racing and obviously some really good finishes here, and obviously some controversy. You go back to like 2013, we saw that Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin wreck that unfortunately injured Denny, gave him a back injury, gave the win to Kyle Busch. We saw Kevin Harvick eke out Jimmy Johnson here in a little 15-lap dash after a caution came out. So some phenomenal racing's been put on here at Auto Club Speedway. It's a shame that it's, we don't get it in real life anymore, but we're so lucky to have it preserved here on the sim to allow these drivers to potentially put on a good show for you guys at home. But if you look at this track as we see some drivers going around, I mean, one of the biggest characteristics of this track is how wide it is and how usable all these lanes are. You see the 11 going up and using the top. He's going to get a run off the corner, try to make a look underneath this 8 machine on the... Not going to make it work. The 8 machine of Trevino doing really good work trying to block and try to practice making those blocks. But you look behind, they're behind those 2 drivers battling out. We see some drivers. It's like the 77 back there. Wyatt Thomas and a little pack of cars. And look how dynamic this track is. You saw someone all the way down there next to that white line. Or you saw 2 other cars up there painting that wall. You see the 42 machine. And Gio Turpin up there painting that white, painting the line, getting up there right next to the wall. And you're going to continue to see that all race as you're going to see these drivers try to use up as much of the track as they can. I will apologize ahead of time. I will be a little bit less talkative this broadcast, not feeling the best, a little under the weather, so but we're going to try to stick it out for you guys at home and try to put on a good broadcast and a good race. Hopefully these drivers can put on a good show and make up for my lack of a voice and a lack of being able to talk as much as you see already some beating and banging here in practice. As we take a look at your points, Peter Hott coming out of Daytona, your points leader. Brandon Kiger P2 in points. White Youngblood, Benjamin Bushnell, Reeves Simmons, Jake Collins, and Jacob Quill tied for your 6th place spot. Max Ford, David Tittle, and Zachary Javino going to be your top 10 in points coming into Auto Club. But as practice wraps up, we'll get ready to start your qualifying for here at Auto Club tonight. You see right now, currently Jacob Quill, your pole sitter. 48 of Helms. P2, Condorian Davis in 88. In that P3 position, and Quill's teammate and Zachary Trevino sitting there in that P4 spot. Jordan Fisher moves his way up into the P5 position. See that number 39, Team Conti machine. And with 17 seconds left in qualifying, that will give Jacob Quill your pole at the Knights Race at Auto Club. As we wait on some drivers to load in, remember these drivers do have a lot of tools in the shed that they can use to adjust these cars from qualifying to practice, and from practice to qualifying, and qualifying back into the race. So we're allowing these drivers to get in, but as we get ready to go, I'm going to show you starting lineup brought to you by HVTV. You're going to see the drivers right here, right in the top 10. You're going to see that lap time of 40.55 for Jacob Quill. And Kyler Helms running out your front row in that 48 machine. See the rest of the top 10 there on your timing scoring. Joshua Parrott, Turpin in the 42 gonna start off row 6. David Little, Merrick Watchhorn, P14. Andrew Tenold, Nicholas Books. Gonna be 15th and 16th. White Youngblood, Reeve Simmons. We saw in P17 and 18, 19, and 20. Be Smith and Hop. Row 11 through row 15. TJ Handley, Brandon Kiger, last week's winner. Then back there in the P22. GP rows P16 through P20. A 49. Jeffrey Herrick last in qualifying with that 41.5. Everybody on back decided not to set a lap. Looking at today's weather, 80-degree temperature with a track temp of 107, so a little bit slick for these drivers. Humidity 47% and a 17-mile-an-hour wind. A 100 laps here at Auto Club. Remember, we do have that stage break at lap 25. Where the top 10 will get those precious stage points. You see the pace car take a hard left. Chevy front row here. 100 laps here at Auto Club. 29 and 48 is going to lead us to green here at Auto Club. So we have a caution out here at lap 1. Saw that wreck in the back. Take a look at it. I'm trying to find where this is. It showed us that this machine in the back was the incident, but I think it was just due to him blinking caused that ATVO to blink out for us. Yeah, very unsure what that caution was for. I'm trying to find the potential culprit. Everybody moving up and down on my timing and scoring, but regardless, caution out. You're going to the line to complete lap 2. As we see, looks like someone down there. Been on the apron. I'm trying to find who that car is. Cannot find it. But we did see two cars going down towards the apron there, making some contact. And that will cause a caution day in and day out. Once again, apologize for everybody watching at home. As, once again, feeling a little under the weather. Not going to be as talkative. Obviously, you hear me trying to hide my hiccups the best I can. I got to push the mute button for OBS to kind of make myself sound a little bit less jarring, but I do apologize. You know, I've been trying to work all day at trying to get this fixed before we went live here on YouTube and Twitch. Unfortunately, just has not been able to go away here. You see running order. Quill, Helms, Fisher, Ford, and Davis, your top 5. But you do see lights off on the pace car. The front two stay the same. In that 29, that 48. Jacob Quill going from the 33 back to the 29. But besides that, you're going to see that pace car take a hard left turn on the pit road in the 48. Chevy front row. Toyota and Ford round out that second row. So we're back green here at Auto Club. 2-3 wide all throughout the field here, trying to make up positions. This is the best time to do it, is on these restarts. At 3 wide, going back to 2 wide. And this 2 wide potentially trying to go back to single file as people try to find their pace, try to find their rhythm, and find where they want to sit right now. Obviously, you cannot afford to wreck your car or put yourself in the spot. Obviously, we will be getting that stage caution on lap 25, so these drivers can't afford to push a little bit because they know they're getting at least a guaranteed caution on lap 25 to come down and top off on fuel, get some tires, and kind of set up the race from there. See, look at 3 wide, 6, 7, and 8. With the 88s on the top, you see that 91 of Watchorn trying to take advantage. As we're starting to run down the 47 at Parrot, Mark Carmen machine. Parrot trying to do everything he can to keep that 91 behind right now. CGO Turbine going to take advantage of the 48 of getting in the wall. Gonna make a move down to the inside. As the pack has caught Jacob Quip. Pulled out to almost a second lead. Now you see the 11 of Max Ford taking a dive to the inside. Gonna try to make the pass for the race lead. Give him that lap at the line. Looks like Quill smartly just backs out. Doesn't want to race yet. Because Quill has a teammate back there in Trevino in that 8 machine. Been back there in P3 right behind his 29 car. Thorne Fisher up 2 spots into the P4 position. I will say this, Gio Turpin is driving up through the field, up 8 positions, up to the P4 spot. Looking to get around this 39 and this 29 machine of Fisher and Quill. Turpin looking like he has a lot of speed here at Auto Club tonight. See Dorian Davis trying to make the bottom work. 47. Apparent gonna try to block that 88 down low. Looks like 88 to pick a different line. That's gonna put him side by side with the 51. As you're going to see 4 wide here going across the front stretch into turn 1 now, 3x3. That's what we talked about in the pre-race. You can go wherever you really need to on this track. We saw Dorian Davis getting the wall there, but Jacob Quill, who takes your race lead. It's around the 11. We've started to see a little bit of a breakaway. You see kind of, I would say, the top 6 break away from the rest of the field. And then you see David Little kind of in no man's land. Has a little pack trying to follow him through to catch this front pack of this top 6. It's caution. Because it showed us that Jeffrey once again might have crashed, but I think once again just another blinking issue. see these cars come down pit road, and then we'll take a quick commercial break after these guys come out of pit road, and let our sponsors talk to you guys for a little bit after they get out of pit road here. You can see the 29, 11, 8, and so on and so forth. Gonna win the race off pit road. While we get the time, we're gonna go ahead and let our friends and partners over at iRacing tell you about their product, and we'll be right back after some words from iRacing.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Pace car taking a hard turn on the pit road, and the 29-11 will lead you back to green here to start your stage 2. Caution out on track here. It looks like the 67 of Reeve Simmons got into it with another driver. If we can find what happened to the 67 machine. He gets together with the 9 machine. Take a different look at it from your chopper cam. Looks like tries to get below the 47. Gets loose, gets into the 9, and they're gonna get down and spin underneath the racing line. Surprised that was a caution, but you'll see it. 67 parked there, just nothing he could really do. To gets loose, tags the 9, and really did nothing the 9 did wrong, but just wrong place, wrong time for Galvin in that 9 machine. But that will bring out the caution on lap 36 of 100. See some cars down pit side. The 11 of Max Ford down pit road. The 7 machine, it looks like, maybe the 81 as well. Down pit road, the 11 will win that race off. Here comes the 81, the 91, my apologies. And others exiting pit road. A little bit of a strategy call. I mean, we've ran 12 laps on these tires, and obviously got that caution. Everybody else, let's see. Wow, everybody 28th on back decided to stay out. So Max Ford, who's up there in the top 2, top 3 all race, going to start 29th. Does have those 12 lap first year tires. See what this 11 can do. We know he's quick. We know he's been, up there in the top 2, top 3 all race. We'll really see if track position really matters, or if he can easily get through the field with, a lot fresher tires here. Jacob Quill potentially with an internet issue. I see him dropping down the charts. See, Quill machine potentially just having some internet issues. You do see the lights on the pace car off, which means we'll be going green this time in a new front row that we've seen before for this race at Auto Club. 29 still up front, but not that 11. In that second place, it's going to be the 39 of Jordan Fisher. Going to be that P2 spot. Decker Dravino. David Lill going to be your fast 4, and Owen Lax going to round out your top 5 in that 60 machine. Pace car's going to take a hard left. Now a Chevy Ford front row, Chevy lockout. They round out that row too. Jacob Quill will lead us through the restart zone and back green. Javino with some internet issues, blinking in and out, but pulls his way into the P2 position. Trevino and the 29 of Quill are a teammate, so you could definitely see that they probably had a countdown system going there to give them to a good jump to get 1-2 on the restart. But Jordan Fisher down the P3. And David Little up to P4, up 9 spots from where he started back in 13th. Decent battling still side by side too, looking maybe 3 wide throughout the pack here. Trying to take advantage of the track position, trying to take advantage of the spots all they can. Now, I have seen a lot of blinking today, not only from the leader in Trevino and likes like that, but I've seen some blinking from other drivers. And I was sitting in the team owners meeting post-race at Daytona where there's some drivers who were blinking really badly, causing neck-code wrecks, and they made a new rule that if you're blinking, they will give you some sort of penalty if it's enough to affect the way that people are racing around you. You know, the first time you're caught blinking excessively, you get a warning, and then the second time you'll be asked to drop to the back of the field. And if you are still doing it, you'll be giving a drive-through. And after that drive-through, if you still can't figure out why you're blinking, you'll be asked to park the car until you can. Now, they did come up with the rules. If you're parked for blinking, you can get those laps back if you figure out your internet. Because obviously it's not the driver's fault to a point if their internet can't handle it, or if their internet is lagging, or if their internet just isn't working as well as it usually is. So they will get those laps back if they do go laps down, asking to park the car. So, but caution is out once again. This looks like this 45 might have had an issue back here. Looks like we have. You take a look and see what happened. Three wide middle for this 45 machine. Did not have a good Daytona. Getting caught up in something once again. Yeah, it just looks like the 45 and the 48 got together there. You know, more naturally, the 45, you know, a lot of people move up the track as they get up to the wall. And the 45 kind of was just sitting there, but it's also, and the 48's job to not get into the back of them and see a bunch of cars getting caught up in this. There's nowhere to go when you're sitting in the middle of the track, and when you're going this quick, especially here at Auto Club, it's hard to get around, you know, a stopped car. One of the fastest tracks we go to on the schedule here in the Prestige Cup Series. It's going to be hard to get these cars wound down. Speaking of getting wound down, we have a lot of cars rolling down to come on the pit road here. Including your race leader of Jacob Quill. So some of these drivers electing to stay out, or I'm unsure, because we saw Jacob Quill come down. It looks like everybody has come down pit road. No, Alright, my apologies. So those guys who did pit earlier, like some of these guys, like the 39, the 44, had to stay out. They have 19 laps on these tires. The freshest out of the people who stayed out is the 91. 7 laps on those tires. Everybody else 19, and then you get back to 13th. Jacob Quill leading the cars who came down pit road. But people saying that this will change the way this kind of stint, if you want to call it, is ran, right? You have all these drivers up here up front with the amount of old tires. Can these old tires find their way up through the field quick? You see, like, people like Jacob Quill. I don't think it's going to be too hard. He's sitting back there in 13th. And it wouldn't be that difficult, I would feel like, if he tries hard enough and can not burn his stuff up before he gets up here. Like, Jacob might have put himself in a really good spot, but you know, you have 12 other drivers with older tires. See how bad the tire wear is here and how bad it affects the driving here at Auto Club. Lights are going to turn off, and it's going to head down pit road, take that hard left, and the 39 and the 44, once again a Ford Chevy front row, going to lead us back to green. Be a pretty decent restart out of the front too. They start to fan out down here. Going down the back, you see 3 wide for that P6 position. See some battling going on. Ooh, you see there's gonna be a wreck right here between the 9 and the 74. The 98 getting involved. Looks like the 25 is, everybody gonna try to get through it? No! Here comes the 49 and attack the side of that 9 machine. We saw right here live, but we'll definitely go back and take a look and see what happened. Take a look at this 9 car. So the 9 just gets up. I don't know if it looks like he might have been trying to clear someone. It looks like you saw a hole there in between the 74 and the 47. Those Mike Harmon teammate tries to go up there to block the run, goes up there and gets into the wall. And then the 74, I don't know if he lost the nose or maybe if there's some little bit of net code that kind of turned the 74. Yeah, that's the 74 down the track. Goes down, grabs the 98. It looks like pretty clean sailing, just a little 3-car wreck, but the 25 pile in, and then here comes the 49 to get at the side of this 9. Ooh, big hit. That's gonna be at least 6 or so cars involved in that wreck. A pretty big hit for that 9 machine. See that 9 machine coming down pit road, try to get some damage fixed. But I'll give the race lead back over to the 39, the 60 machine. Bowen Lax up 7 positions up there in P2. 51 of 10, up 12 positions. Jacob Quill down 4, and Gio Turpin up 7. And then you have Oliver Quinney, did not get a lap in, but he's up 30 positions. Started all the way back in 36th. He chose some track position. You know he's quick. He's made up 30 spots up there into that P6 position, and he looks really, really quick. Looked really promising at Daytona. Coming out here with some major speed at Auto Club. Get the lights off on the pace car once again, and this time it's going to be a forward front row. As the 60 car makes his way up to the top 2 for the first time, and that beauty cash machine. Yeah, Chevy Toyota. Get around that row 2 and Toyota Ford, so a little bit of a mix-up in every row here on that 49. Two Fords. And leads back to green going into the restart zone. And we're green once again here at Auto Club. Ooh, almost 3, almost 4 wide. Out in the back straightaway here. To the third, the 60. I'm gonna fall back a little bit. Field remember he started P2 on that restart. And he's all the way back to P4, so down 2 spots. Did not get the best restart, and obviously here pretty unanimously known that there are some just good restarters here in the league. And you can take advantage of situations that maybe you haven't put yourself in, you know, or maybe you put yourself in a position to save instead of just go off the bat and push. We have crossed the halfway mark in this race. Took this down to 49 to go here at Auto Club. Still a long race to go. Auto Club, a 2-mile racetrack. Everybody's starting to get a little tiny bit spread out. Got this front pack, you see a battle for the P3 position. You see looking underneath the 51. See, the 51's gonna get around the 60. Here comes the 48. See some 3 wide back here. Oliver Quinney trying to make a move, try to get around to 51. Gonna get himself up into the wall. Side by side, 3 wide back here, 55 in the middle. Favoring goalie. Gonna hold on to this top 15. We'll go ahead and go through your field here while we have the time. Everybody's still racing pretty hard. 39 of Jordan Fisher, your race leader, Jacob Krill. What's behind? Once again, we'll go through the field. Jacob Krill back to MP2. Owen Lax, P3. Adley Holmes back there in the P4 position. Geo Turpin up 7 spots, up to P5. P1, Andrew. The 51, P6. The 91 of Merrick Watchorn. P7. Okay, Oliver Quinney up. Now 28 spots. Zachary Beekman down there in P9, and White Thompson running out that top 10, but he is getting looked at from the one, or what, Youngblood. Side by side. Everybody's starting to get a little bit more tame than they were. I didn't think compared to like what we're seeing, what you're gonna see later in the season at Kansas and at some of these mile and a halves were. Oh, as we have a wreck here, the 48. Could be a caution. No caution out on track. quick glance to see what happened to this driver. It's another wall. Trying to stay out of the way of lead lap traffic, and looks like just self-spawns on accident. Trying to pull it off of the wall to get out of the way. No caution. Single lap car and single car wreck, and that's the ruling that they've had here in the Prestige Cup Series. It's got to take out at least 2 machines. You just self-spin on your own, they are not going to call it. Jacob Quilla started to run down your race leader. Jordan Fisher under attack by this 29. And I know Jacob's only running part-time, but when he does run, he's going to be a threat everywhere we go. Race for the win. He was a threat at Daytona. Got through. Here. You've got... Look at him, like you... I mean, he's one of those guys who can always find that little oomph in the car all the time, and it's going to show, as you see now, the 39. Try to do something with them, but the 29 already starting to pull away just a little bit as we've been looking at this battle now. Battle on track directly behind them is this for this P3 position to 60. Getting caught by the 48. 48 running a little bit of a higher line than the 60, getting a better run off the corner. Using that draft to pitch back up. One under attack by the 42. Theo Serpin. Trying to continue to improve his starting spot. Back in 12th. Oliver Quinney is the one that I'm looking at. Up 28 spots. I mean, he's been a grinder all day to try to get up to the field. Not do anything. I mean, some of those cautions have definitely helped him punch the field back up, but he's grinded all day to continue to keep as much track position as he can by just trying to sell crap or just, you know, drive through the field. See, now he's getting a little bit taking advantage of the 47. Now he's gonna have to jump up in front of the 77. Wyatt Thompson gonna push him, gonna tandem with them all the way down into turn 1. Got to see pack start to form here at Auto Club. Oliver Quinney starts to lose a little bit of spots here, but that's okay. You see the Oliver Quinney actually coming down Pay Road. Is that the 91, the 93? The 93 tries to get it down Pay Road. Completely misses it. Go back and take a look and see what happened between his 93. We'll go on board with him. I think he definitely was trying to pit. Could not get this car slowed down enough. I'm not too sure if he got loose. I don't think he was trying to pit though. I think he might have just gotten loose and it made it look like he was trying to pit. and spun it out there. But once again, no caution because it's a single car wreck. So I'll continue to keep this race green. And Jacob Quill has started to slowly pull away from the rest of the field. Got about a 3-second gap back to P2. Tyler Helms is taking over that P2 position. Close behind is that 91 of Merrick. Theo Turpin fighting to stay in that 4th place spot, but the 47, one of those Mike Harmon machines, Joshua Parent, trying to make something happen. Here comes the 48 out pit road. But we knew that they could only go about 25, maybe 30 laps. That's why we got that stage caution. And that's what Zachary set him up to be, is that it would be around a fuel run is where they wanted to throw the caution to have everybody set up. That's exactly what's happening here. Is now we've gone to what, at most of 26 laps on fuel. It's 27 for Jacob Quill. Starting to see some drivers peel down pit road. I'm gonna assume that everybody's good to go then, so they could, anybody could easily come down and pit now if people are, right? Maybe this lap 30 or lap 31 is the fuel window and they just want to get as much fuel as they need to finish out this thing. Jacob Quill continuing to extend this lead. Everybody, obviously, green flag pit cycles are underway. We look at the person who's come down pit road right now. The first guy out is the 60 machine. One lax. He's currently a lap down. Coming out of turn 2. Where's Jacob Quill? Alright, so he's going into turn 3 now, so how far can some of these cars go on fuel? And I think we have maybe some carnage going on. Either people coming down pit road or people crashing. I'm not sure. We have a lot of people towing the pits. Was there a wreck that we missed here? We had Dalton tow, and we also had Ryder tow. Very interesting. No caution out, so we're going to continue to look at your race leader. Once again, the first car that has come down pit road is the 16 car mired in traffic. It's going to make it a little bit harder for him to catch Quill, unlap himself. Now imagine if, I don't know how many more laps Quill can go. We've ran 30, he's ran 30 laps on this stint. If I'm Quill, I wait on this 60 car. If he ever does get to you, pass you, and then you pit after that. You're gonna have significantly better tires. He's already got almost 10 laps on these tires. It's gonna take at least a couple more laps for him to get to you. if I'm the leader, I just wait until this first car out catches you. You know, we're running about 41-second times. It's like an average stop is about 44 seconds. In and out. So if I was them, you know, when he gets around 4 seconds behind me, even maybe 6 seconds behind me, if I'm the race leader, Quill, I'm gonna pit right then, because he should be getting to you, or you should be really close as you exit pit road with, you know, these 10 lap pressure tires. So I don't know how far away the 60 is now, just because of him being a lap car. It doesn't show actual distance until he gets back on the lead lap. But if Jacob can see the 60 in a relative and it gets down to about 5 seconds behind, I would pit. So you come out basically side by side with the 60 machine. But right now you have 9 people who have to come down pit road. Connor Youngblood finishing up his service. Jacob Quill down pit road. We were talking about that. Now, where does Quill merge out comparatively to 60? 1 lax coming out of 3 and 4 now. Jacob Quill coming out of pit road. 60 should be coming up around anytime here. You see him, he's going to be coming around in the 4 shot. Jacob Quill might, if he can get up to speed enough, might stay ahead of this 60, and I think he will. The great pace out of this 29 has actually allowed him to jump the people who short pit. I mean, he long pitted a lot longer, but it's allowed him a great pit stop by Jacob Quill to come down pit road and still stay in front of the guys who pitted really early. And he's going to continue to pull away. I-60 has 12 lap older tires now than the 29 you see right there. Everybody's last stint, so you see the top 7 yet to come down pit road. So Joshua Parrott in this 47. Mike Harmon machine, your leader. Wyatt Thompson back there in the 77, going to be P2. Jay Hindley in the 07. Eventually teammates. I'll have to look at the sheet. Very unprepared, just due to me not feeling the best. He's back there in 3rd. Blair Saunders, 98, P4. Jacob Tittle in the 44, another Mike Harmon machine staying out. With Nicholas Wilkes back there in P6. The second to last car did not pit, and then Wyatt Youngblood coming out of 2 in this TH Designs machine. Last car to not pit. He's just kind of sitting there in no man's land right now. Here comes the 1 machine. Here comes the 16 machine. We'll go back to your race leader, Blair. Not Blair, Parent. It's 47. He's going to try to push this as long as he can. Now 33 laps on fuel. And I'm surprised that some of these guys back here haven't pit. White, Thompson. Okay, as they are coming down pit road now, but they ran 37 laps. We should to see if that's enough time. 19 to go. Can they come out with now almost 20 lap pressure tires in some of these guys? I don't see that. About 15 lap pressure tires in the 60 and the 39. and run these guys back down. Here comes the 47 down pit road. David Tittle. 44 teammate. Stays out another lap. Remember, they can go at least, well, at most right now we've seen is 37. So if this 44 wants to stay out, he can for a couple more laps, I feel like. Same thing with Perrin and the 47. The 47's down pit road. Larry Saunders down pit road. Not the best out for him. That's going to lose him a lot of time. Now it's up to this 44. When does this 44 come in? Looks like he's coming in this lap. And now we'll hand your race lead back over to Jacob Quill. We're going to look at Jordan Fisher right now. Jacob continuing to have blinking issues throughout the race. But the 39 of Fisher got around the 60. 16 to 39 got the same strategy. Both have 17 laps on those tires. Jacob Quill has 10. Jacob Quill has also been having some connection issues. I'm interested to see. Right now, he hasn't really been racing anybody. And I think that's a big game saver for him right now, is that he's kind of by himself. So right now, the blinking isn't a big issue. But if he continues to blink, you know, the race control might step in and say, hey, if you know, one more time and we're going to have to send you to the back. You're going to have to be more cautious. We're going to have to give you a drive-through. And that could be a race ender with 17 to go for this number 29 machine. I appreciate everybody sticking out the broadcast. You know, obviously not feeling the best tonight under the weather, and couldn't really talk for the first half of the race, but luckily I've got some water next to me and trying to rough it, you know, push through this for you guys. You know, you guys deserve to have a broadcast and to have the best show that you can. You see the 29 actually brushed the wall. We're gonna push through this just for you guys. We have a battle for the P8 position. 47 is gonna easily get around the 41 of Quinny. Quinny with almost 16 lap older tires. But as the fuel cycle is kind of ended, we're gonna take off the stint counter for you guys. But like I said, I appreciate you guys sticking it out with me and not leaving me behind. You know, I've gotten myself composed enough to where I feel like I can call the rest of this race somewhat normal. And if I need to step away and let the race, you know, play itself out, then I will. But I do appreciate you guys sticking around and making sure that the broadcast is still looking good and everything else. I apologize for not showing the intervals while I was trying to compose myself, but we're here now 14 to go at Auto Club. Jacob Quill right now looking like he's gonna easily, at the time being, Jacob Quill looks like to be the favorite to run away with this thing. Already has almost a 3-second gap. The rest of the field, he has fresher tires than everybody in the top four. Next person that even has around the same strategy on tires is this 91 back here in 5th place of Merrick. And he's 8 seconds behind your race leader. You see that on your scoring to the left. So if there's any chance that he wants to give anything to, so he would have had to been saving really, really hard this whole run. And he, coming down to 12 to go with 8 seconds, he would have to be, 7/10 a lap quicker to get to him. Which I don't think is going to be possible. So Jacob Quill will go through your field one last time before we get to this 10 to go. Jacob Quill with a 3.5-second lead. We'll take a look at these laps led for him. Led quite a bit. 49 of 90, a little over half the laps led by this 29 Quill Precision machine. Jordan Fisher in the 39 has looked really good all race. Been up here in basically the top 5 all race. Been back there in P2, P3. Owen Lax had to kind of drive up through the field just a little bit to get that P4, to get that last podium spot right now. Does have pressure from the 48, Tyler Helms. Trying to put the pressure on him back there in the P4 position. 3.5 seconds back. There's Merrick. Theo Turpin. Up 6 spots. Trying to take over this P5 position. Peter Hop right there in tow. You second place winner and your current points leader here in the Prestige Cup Series. Barely lost out in the photo finish last week at Daytona. But sitting back there with the P7, not a bad run for that 24 machine. Joshua Parrott in the Mike Harmon. Team. About a 1.5 seconds off there. With Oliver Quinney back there just trying to get it home. 24 laps on those tires, by far the oldest tires in the field. And then Zachary Trevino looked like he had a lot of pace. Not sure what happened, but lost a lot of track position here throughout the race, sitting back here in 10th. And was sitting 1-2 with his teammate of Quill up there in the lead, and just has not been able to put the pieces together to keep the track position. And a lot of tough breaks for some of these guys we see back here. Max Ford, 11 laps down, still trying to run around, but 11 laps down, getting caught up in a wreck. 29 spots lower he started. Seen a great battle back there for that P6 position, but you see Jacob Quill taking the white flag. You see a car stop down the bottom. That's one of the Mike Harmon machines, but the white flag's out in the air. It's not going to stop Jacob Quill for going into turn 3 and 4 for the final time. Dominating here at Auto Club, and Jacob Quill gonna come out here in this 29 new number. It doesn't matter. He's gonna come out here and win week 2 of this Prestige Cup Series. Congratulations to Jacob Quill and that whole team. Jordan Fisher, P2. Tyler Holmes, and that 48 gonna round out your podium finishers tonight. You see the 48 giving Quill that congratulatory bump. See Jacob Quill park it there on the start finish line. We'll go ahead and take a look at your final results here. Brought to you by HVTV. Jacob Quill, while we see here victorious here at Auto Club. Jordan Fisher, P2. Tyler Holmes, P3. Owen Lax in the 60 comes home with a P4. Joshua Parrott, Peter Hop.
That's what I found.
Gio Turpin, Zachary Trevino, Oliver Quinney. Round out your top 10. David Tittle, Gabriel Bully, Nicholas Books, Zachary Beekman, Nicholas Amos, Blair Saunders, Andrew Tenold, White Youngblood, Frank Skimmerhorn, and Wyatt Thompson. Round out top 20.
I can do the rest if you want. Here, skip to the next page.
Yep, we're going to go 21st on back. I can actually do my screen for you, Zach, if you want.
Yeah, no problem. Rest your voice, man. I appreciate you doing the broadcast, my man, every week. Alrighty, 21st, TJ Hanley. 22nd, Brandon Kiger. 23rd, Connor Martucci. 24th, Justin Wilkes. 25, Joseph Enright. 26th, Chris Emerson. 27th, Ryan Hatch. 28th, Gavin Smith. 29th, Alex Eskridge. And in 30th, Zach Case. And then 31st, Brian White. 32nd, Devin Galvin. 33rd, Max Ford. 34th, Jeffrey Herrick. 35th, Benjamin Bushnell. 36th, Dalton Bernius. 37th, Reeves Simmons. 38th, Ryder Morgan. 39th, Kendorian Davis. And 40th, Jaron Valley. And then 41st, Tyler Curley. And 42nd, Grant Chermak. That is your race results for Auto Club, the Wilkes Family 200. And then we can get into these interviews. Our race winner, Mr. Jacob Quill, up here in the HVTV broadcast booth. Jacob Quill.
Hi.
Dominated today. Talk to us about the race, man. Talk to us about the strategy and how you were able to do that green flag run perfectly. Talk to us about it, man.
Oh, yeah, it was a great race from start to finish. You know, I just wanted to control the race. That was the main focus, and just taking my tires easy, because obviously, it's Auto Club. It's a high wear track, and it was a very good day, very productive day. What I will say, it wasn't productive for that 74 crew there today. Very unfortunate what happened to them throughout the race. I'll say that. But yeah, it was overall a really good day. We nailed our pit stops, had really good green flag runs, and we were just able to, be the best in the field.
Absolutely, my man. Talk to us about that start. I know the stage break was lap 25. How were you able to, manage that with all, with all the pack behind you and it pushing, sometimes 3, 4 wide? How were you able to handle that, man? Just
You drive the hell out of the thing, and if you have your tires to accompany with you, that always helps. I mean, with having good tires, it's just gonna be good speed in the long run, and that was just the key the whole day. And yeah, that's literally it. That's just how I was able to make it through the field, maintain everything. Obviously the wrecks in the middle kind of necessarily helped us. It helped us. It did after we pitted for fuel to make it a one stop and not have to worry about gas. So I mean, just driving through the field is just a natural thing if you have the car and the tires.
absolutely, my man. But man, P1 gets his first win here in season 2. Season 1, you came for, I believe it was just a one-off, right? And one Rockingham too, dominated the field there. So you're definitely a threat for this championship. I would not be surprised.
I don't think I'm running full time, but
Still,
but
any tracks you do show up at, you're definitely going to be a threat.
yeah, whoever on the broadcast, I don't want to go crazy, but that 74's got it out for me this season now. But yeah, I'm sure I'll see him in my rearview mirror a lot or in front of me a lap down. So I'm not worried about it.
Alrighty. Well, any sponsors and shout outs you want to give out before you head up out of here?
Oh yeah, thank you to Precision Speed Solutions, for being on the car, bringing me along on their great setup team. We have a great Dover setup this week. It's been it's been okay, honestly, as a Dover week, but Dover's just tough this week. I mean, I'd also like to thank Simrap Market, Paddle Track, Tilly's, and obviously my team, Quill Speed Performance. All my guys. We work together really nicely, and it's unfortunate what happened to Zach today, but I'm sure he'll show the field in the next following races.
Don't doubt that. But all right, your race winner, Jacob Quill. Take it easy, my man.
Will do.
Alrighty. And your P2 finisher, first time ever here in Prestige. Good old Jordan Fisher in that 39 machine. Jordan Fisher, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, talk
Yes,
to me
sir.
about the race. Tell me about, how you're able to get up to the front and, lead a couple laps there or a good handful of laps and just starting off in this brand new league. Talk to me about it, man.
So I've never been in a league with this many cars on track, so obviously it was a little bit nerve-wracking coming into this race, not really sure how the competition was. And the track was obviously very, very hot during practice time. So, we got like P16 practice time, so we weren't really sure how we were going to stack up with all the competition in this field here. But man, I tell you what, there is some slingers out here who know how to drive and really fast. So just trying to save fuel, save tires early on to kind of set up at that long run because we kind of had that strategy. If we can get to lap 65, then there's a chance to make it to the end. So ran out of fuel about 100 feet crossing the start-finish line. If we had a little bit more fuel in the tank, maybe we could chase down the leader there. We definitely had the pace there, but regardless, I mean, for a first race in this league, I'm really excited with how the car performed today.
Absolutely, my man. Talk to me just about that first stage and just just the chaos and just trying to get those stage points. Talk to us about that, man.
Yeah, it was kind of all over the place. You had to be aggressive during those first 25 laps because those stage points aren't easy to come by at all. So, you gotta, absolutely just be aggressive out there in terms of maintaining your position, rather in knowing where the fast line is, because it seemed like the track was always changing, especially early on. It seemed like that high line in 1 and 2 was wrapping really quickly. So qualifying in P6 or so, we were able to get the 39 up to inside that top 3 and just running behind the 29 car out there, and a few others who were around us. And you could tell there was cars behind who wanted to pass you and all that, and that's what I mean by being aggressive. Still, bringing that car into the corners hard, so you can get out of the corners even faster and so on. So it's, I'm really, really pleased with the result, and getting those stage points is always very helpful in the long run, especially when it comes to playoffs times towards the end.
Definitely, my man. But any sponsors and shout outs you want to give before you head up out of here?
Yeah, I want to thank Grumpy Graphics for giving me this ride today in this awesome Orange 39 machine, as well as Grumpy Motorsports. They have a great team over there, so really excited to hop on board with these guys. So thank HBR Racing with all the teamwork that goes on over there, the Team Conti, Sim Performance guys, as well as the Hardy Designs, who make some great liveries out there. So as well as the broadcast crew, you guys do a fantastic job. So I want to thank everybody out there. It was good racing for everybody.
Thank you, my man. And yeah, looking forward to seeing you perform throughout this season. And take it easy, my man.
Yep, you're the fish. See you guys next week.
All right. That was your P2 finisher. Jordan Fisher was able to, in his first ever start, clinch that P2 spot. But now, P3, Tyler Helms, in his second season with Prestige. How's it going, my man? You got a copy?
Yep, we're here.
All righty. Talk to me, man. You had some good success last season in the the early stages of Prestige, and now able in the second race of the season, able to get a P3 spot. Talk to us about the strategy, the racing, and just overall everything, my man.
Well, I mean, practice. I mean, obviously a lot of people complaining. Really hot track. I only got like 6 or 7 laps in, and I knew I was gonna struggle with grip. I didn't know whether to go, leave the brake bias the same or do what you normally have to do in the next gen and just crank all of it out. But I decided right before I gridded to just crank it all out to 38%, just try to make the car turn. Because honestly, I would rather be loose than tight in this car. And we were rolling up front for a good while there, and then I got dirty air from Max on that second restart and got pretty bad wheel damage and had to go all the way to the back, even with damage still on the car. And then we came back down again, took no tires, fixed the rest of the damage, and I think if I was able to get around the 60 car before that final pit cycle, then I potentially could have battled Jacob for the win, but who knows? And I knew fresher tires is going to be way better in the long run, and that he had to save a little bit of fuel. So, just come down few laps after him once the tires started to fall off, and they fell off pretty. Honestly, they fell pretty hard at the end of the run, like last 4 or 5 laps. And we pit and got him. Had to make a few passes. Got in front of him. Somehow did not get in front of the 39, which I think he pitted like 6 laps before me. But I think that was just me burning my crap up trying to get around the 60. But I mean, P3 is amazing after how Daytona ended for me, and we finished decently solid at the end of the regular season last season. So hopefully momentum can keep going.
Absolutely, my man. Talk to us about just overall like that first stage. I know there was a couple cautions that really jacked the field up, but talk to us about those crowded restarts and just overall for the next like 5-10 laps how it'd be crowded. Talk to us how you're able to maneuver through that and get ahead of everybody else.
And I think honestly on the restarts, a lot of people were being way too careful. I mean, I don't know if it's because there's just a lot of people in the race or if they were just scared of spinning the tires. But turn 1 is where I made most of my time up on the restarts because you get so much grip into there because the colder tires on the hotter track. I had so much grip into turn 1, I would able to like turn it all the way from the top, and I would go all the way down to the bottom if I had nobody below me, and I was able to make a bunch of spots up on the restarts. And I mean, it kind of just seems like on the starts, everybody tries to shuffle to the top as fast as they can because of turn 1 and 2. But the dirty air was, I mean, it's typical next gen. The dirty air was very bad, but it wasn't impossible. I mean, you could go other lanes. I mean, even on older tires, you could still make the bottom line work. I mean, a lot of guys were complaining to me before the race about everybody's only going to sit on the top and the bottom doesn't work at all. But I mean, just downshift to fourth, and it was pretty simple. But it seemed like six to 9 laps in, the runs, the field started to spread out, which made it 10 times more better. But I mean, it's auto club restarts, so everybody's going to be scrambling 4 and 5 wide, and then you just got to be the ones to make the move, and you got to trust the people not to wreck you. And I mean, we did that. It seemed like a lot of guys didn't really want to be aggressive on restarts today. I think it's maybe just the no faster pair or something like that, but I think I gained a bunch of spots off restarts.
Absolutely. But any sponsors or shout outs you want to give out before we head up out of here for tonight?
My team owner, Kendra Davis, Mark 5 Racing, Max Ford, he's always helping me out. Peter Hoppy, Red Bull WeatherTech, they're on the car. Don't really know why we're driving a WeatherTech on the 48, but hey, man, it's what the boss man wants. So it's fast. So we'll take it, and we'll move on to wherever we're at next week. I think Darlington.
Yep, we're at Darlington next season. So, but alrighty, my man. Have a great rest of your night and enjoy that P3 finish.
Yep, you too.
Alrighty. Well, that was all the driver interviews. And yeah, overall, it was a pretty solid race. I had some cautions in the beginning. Definitely one of those wrecks should have been a caution when I don't remember what number it was. But I know the 84 was involved and it was on the backstretch or something. That should have been a caution, but that was my mistake on my end due to the fact that I was racing and I didn't know what was going on. But we'll talk about that later in the Discord. But shout out Backmarker. Use PRS10 at checkout to get a 10% discount on any of your iRacing merch. And then Admin Box, use PRS Box at checkout to get yourself a nice, steady race control box to be able to control your races over at adminbox.com. And shout out Team Foster for being our charity for this year. We're trying to raise $1,500 right now. I believe the goal is at over 100. And yeah, anything else you want to add to us?
No, I mean, just some really good racing, and I mean, no, honestly, some really good racing and fun to sit and talk and watch everything go. I mean, Auto Club's one of those tracks that you can't really put on a bad race at. I mean, you can go wherever you want on the track, and obviously we saw Jacob Quill go around and do Jacob Quill things and pull away with a gap there with kind of the perfect pit strategy to the long pit over some of those other guys. But besides that, fun race to call. I mean, we saw 4 wide, we saw 3 wide, we saw, some wrecking due to the 3 wide, but that's just, Auto Club being Auto Club, but still a good race regardless, and can't wait to move on to next week.
Absolutely. Well, we got Darlington next week, so everybody else, who's watching at home, tune in at Darlington. We're going to head up out of here, though. It's been a long night, and we got some point standings to figure out, so... have a good rest of your night, everybody, and we will see you next week, Thursday.